Okay, hi guys. I'm sorry to take a bit of your time during your CCA period today, but I feel like our talk for today is very pertinent to our current situation. Being behind the screen to do literally everything, like attending classes, doing sports, webinars, sometimes to the extent of having normal conversations with friends. So, therefore, we should watch ourselves online and our attitudes behind the screen. If you still remember, you did some exercises during RWS about body positivity with your homeroom teachers. Do you remember that? And your comments amaze me. They were insightful, and I hope you project the same energy online behind the screen. So, for today, with us, we have Miss Imelda, the founder of Swara Knowledge, a certified HRDF trainer, preaching about diversity and women empowerment. You can share this link to your friends and family so we all can benefit something from this talk. But before we kick off our today's session, I would like to invite Miss Adlina, our CCA coordinator, to say a few words. Miss Adlina, you're on mute.
Okay, hi, I'm here. Thank you so much, Miss Amira. Good afternoon, everyone, and a very good day to everyone who is currently viewing this webinar. You may share the link and to your friends or to your parents so they can join in and benefit some information. On behalf of Dr. Jeffrey, our campus principal, our RIS teachers, and CCA department team, I would like to say many thank you to Ms. Imelda and Ms. Amira for organizing this webinar. And we are actually so glad that you could be here today, Ms. Imelda. Thank you so much. And on your insights to share the body shaming topic. And I really hope our viewers today and our students will learn something. Without further ado, thank you.
I'm so sorry. It happened to me now. Okay, yeah. Before, without further ado, let's invite our speaker, Miss Imelda, to our virtual stage. Give a round of applause to Miss Imelda Simon.
Thank you, Miss Amira. Thank you, Miss Natasha, for the wonderful introduction. Okay, to all our viewers today, before I begin, I would like to pose a question. Now, you can answer in the chat box. Now, my first question is: have you ever been isolated or shunned just because of the way you look? Now, trust me, boys and girls, almost 95% of people have gone through this, even myself. Okay, so you're not alone. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Imelda, and I am your speaker for today. Just a brief introduction of myself. I'm from Johor Bahru, and I have two girls, almost your age group, 17 and 14. And I am here to spend about 45 minutes or so to speak about this topic, which is body image in the digital world, or you can say body shaming. Now, a lot of people ask me, why, Imelda, why are you always talking about the same topic? Why are you always talking about body shaming, especially to the young ones? Well, I am here to share with you some of my life experiences and situations where I had to cope all by myself. So these are tested and tried methods which I have done. Okay. So I want to share with you a personal story that happened to me back in 1994, approximately 27 years ago. So what happened was at the end of 1993, school holidays. So I was actually moving from PJ to Klang to a new school. So what happened was I developed this itch on the side of my face. So I didn't know what was that. So I started scratching. And when I started scratching, it basically manifested, and my whole face were actually became scaly, bloody, and flaky. So only this part of my face was actually visible. So the whole side was bad. Now in this photograph is me 27 years ago at the age of 15. So if you look at the left hand side of my face, you can see something dark. So but this was actually the healing process. Now about this, what happened was I was called names in school, and on my first day of school, nobody even spoke to me. I was made to sit at the back of the class because the teachers were worried that whatever that I had on my face would spread to other people. So this basically lowered my self confidence quite a bit. So I was sitting for Form 3 examinations at that time, and teachers used to call me names. People used to laugh at me. I used to get weird stares. So what I went through was not easy. So went through stage by stage. I actually developed even the habit of talking to myself actually because I didn't have much people to talk with, but I came out of it. Let's have the next slide. So today we are going to speak about digital world. So in the digital world, body shaming happens differently. For instance, now we are going to learn about how social media can influence and affect perceptions about body image and cause stress. Now we are all about the phone, iPad, computers, Facebook, Instagram, and stuff like that. So we are actually basically not really body shaming people visually. What we are doing is that we all have become keyboard warriors. So when we see people outside, we tend to say things which is unkind. But little did we realize what and how is it affecting them in a negative way. So what is body image? Next slide, please. So what is body image? body image is something that you see externally, right? So when you meet your cousins or you meet your friends, okay, you go out for a cup of coffee, or you were to go to your relative's house or whatever, you need to have a good body image. If you're going to look somehow untidy or unkept, that's not very presentable, isn't it? So obviously that plays a very important part. But what is more important is what that is inside of you. What is in the internal of you actually radiates externally. Okay, now a lot of people don't emphasize much about um, mental health, but body shaming, having a positive image, sorry having a positive image about how you feel inside is actually very important. Now, why do actually people think that they should actually emulate a way what social media has actually illustrated? Now, I give you an example. Social media has actually come up with certain beauty standards on how an ideal male should look like, or how an ideal female should look like. So what we are doing now is that behind the scenes, we are trying to be somebody whom probably we have not met in real life. We don't even know whether that person actually exists. For example, that person may not even look like that in real life. Okay, so there is a repercussion to this, the stress that we put in on ourselves trying to emulate something that we don't know. And also we shame other people who are not trying to look in that way. You see, nowadays, if you see on Instagram, gaining followers, gaining likes is the now thing lah. Okay, everybody wants to do that. Let's talk a little bit of apps. So I'm not saying that using apps is wrong. Even I use filters because the lighting in my house and all that is not that great. So what I'm very concerned about is when we are using apps, okay, when we're using filters, are we actually trying to be somebody whom we are not? And once we do that, imagine the pressure that we are going through to fit, to actually match up against those social media beauty standards. Now, I am going to show you in my next slide of a bunch of teens from the UK who has got something to say about body image. Let's hear them.
Hey guys, it's Helen here, and today we're going to be talking about all things body image. The pressure to get that perfect selfie nowadays is crazy, and so many of us are actually so self-conscious about the way we look. It's got to the point where we want to look so perfect online that we sometimes even change the way we look in real life. But why is that though?
Some people like concentrate way too much on taking a selfie.
You've got to have lighting,
You've got to get your hair right.
angle, your makeup, your clothes, and I take like 80 photos.
You've got to make sure you have shaved.
Bit of editing, bit of blurring out.
Perfect.
Some people find their confidence through like social media. People feel more confident commenting, whereas people wouldn't randomly come up to you in the street saying that you're good looking or attractive.
Since I've been using social media, I started to gain followers. It makes me feel happy because now I've gained a lot of friends.
If they don't achieve the likes and followers they want, they could feel as if they're not good enough.
I do think there are pressures in society to look a certain way.
There's like models, magazines,
all the different movie stars.
It's all over TV.
showing us what we should look like.
You see these perfect people, perfect bodies, perfect face.
Okay, I think it's a bit lagging now. So let me tell you what was the video about. Now, the video is talking about a bunch of teens who was actually trying to say about their body image, and that how hard they try to look like the social media. Now, this is all over. all right, beauty standard, as I said, they have an airbrushed model somewhere which we don't know whether exists or not. Now, let me talk to you something about behind the selfie. Now, in this scenario, in this slide that you're watching now, there are three characters, which is Alia, Mages, and Ellen. Now, Alia is a celebrity wannabe, okay? Now, she actually wants to look her best, okay? So, Alia is trying to take the perfect selfie to post online. She feels really pressured to only post the picture she looks good in. So, probably she would have taken about 80 photos, as what you saw in the video. Now, Mages is actually Alia's follower, all right? And she thinks Alia looks absolutely great, and she is challenged because she doesn't have as much followers as what Alia has. And then we have the third character, which is Ellen. Ellen is actually Alia's friend. Now, because Ellen knows Alia in real life, Ellen has rated Alia, broadcasted it on social media and rated her 3 out of 10, which basically means he shamed her. So because of that, Alia deleted her photographs. So let's talk about what were their feelings. Can I have the next slide? Okay, so what do you think were their feelings? Firstly, Alia was pressured to take that photograph is because she's trying to be somebody what the social media has told her to be, what she believes in, all right? And she would have had all kinds of stress and anxiety trying to look that way. And then we have Mages, who's putting so much of pressure on herself. So what she's trying to do is that she is body shaming herself. She's saying negative things about herself and say that she's unworthy, probably she's ugly, probably she doesn't look good because she wants to look like Alia. All right. And Ellen, on the other hand, is just a passerby. He doesn't care. So he just rated her 3 out of 10. So can you see the repercussion on step 1, step 2, and step 3? Every step of the way we had pressure. Okay. Every one of them went through their own individual pressure. Okay. And this goes on and on and on. Now, boys and girls, I want to ask you one question. If you were outside in the mall, all right, with your mom, and you see your best friend standing opposite on the shop or something like that, which probably you can't walk to him or her, and your friend is actually on the bulky side and she's wearing a light blue t-shirt. So how do you describe your friend to your mother? Do you say, "Mom, that's my best friend, the fat one standing over that side"? Or do you say, "Mom, that's my best friend, the one who's wearing blue"? So which do you say? Now, the second scenario, it's the same thing, but that person is your enemy, all right? So how do you describe to your mom that that person is your enemy? Do you say, "Mom, that's my enemy, the fat one standing there"? Or do you say, "Mom, that guy standing over there is my enemy"? So which do you say? Do you describe, do you use the description of how the body looks like, or do you say what she's wearing or what he's wearing or where he's standing? So, boys and girls, can you see that what you're body shaming intentionally is you're describing a person, unintentionally, you're hurting a person. So, whenever you say something about a person, think that that statement that you make can be very detrimental. Because, trust me, I've gone through it. You will carry that hurt for different phases of your life. In my next slide, I'm going to show you a close friend of mine who is Mrs. Malaysia International 2019, where she is going to share some of her experiences and what she has gone through. Take it away. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Sharon Jasmine, and today I'd like to share just a little bit about body shaming. You see, body shaming is not a cool concept at all. It has become such a social norm all around the world. It goes beyond fat shaming and skinny shaming. Students are even criticized for the way they look or even their heights. And that's what happened to me before during my schooling days. I was called all sorts of names just because I was the tallest among all the other students. But I never let that affect me because deep down within me, I knew that it's my opinion that matters and not what others think of me. You see, our bodies will go through different dips in our lives, especially for you guys students who are still growing up. Some of you may all of a sudden become much more bulkier or skinnier. Some of you may even shoot up taller than most of your friends. But always remember that we are all different. None of us are the same, and we come in all different shapes and sizes. So do not compare yourself with someone else. Nevertheless, it is not right for you to body shame another person. Please do not joke about their bodies, whether it's unintentional or not. This is very wrong. And for those of you who have been body shamed before, always remember body shaming will ever be present around us, but it's up to us to stick up for ourselves in a positive manner. Because once we learn to love ourselves and our imperfections, no amount of judgments that has been directed on us will ever affect us in any way. So always be proud of who you are and never ever be ashamed of how someone else sees you. Be positive and stay safe always. Thank you.
Okay, now I just want to share something. When you buy a new phone, for instance, all right, what do? You protect it with all your life, especially if it's expensive, right? Whatever, for example, you buy a new dress, you don't want to put it in the washing machine. You're so scared that the fabric might get torn or something like that. What more about yourself? What about loving yourself so much and believing that difference is actually beautiful instead of imitating something that we don't see in real life? So let me explain to you a little bit about this BEDS methods. Why I came out with BEDS is because the bed is something that we spend almost 8 hours on. We sleep, we rest, we re-energize. So B is believe in self-love. So when you believe in self-love, when you love yourself, trust me, self-love governs all relationship. If you have a wonderful relationship in yourself, and if you have actually protected yourself in such a way, nothing can actually harm you. Okay? You must always remember whoever that actually gives you negative comments, right? First analyze. Is the person worth it? Does the comment make sense? It's like a protection. So if the person is not worth it, just cancel it. Do not even absorb it, because your body is so special to you. Your internal is so special to you. So believe in self love. Embrace positivity. People around you, whenever you speak to people, speak about positive things. Look at the positive side instead of concentrating on the negative side. Now, our mind is construed in such a way that we kind of like look at the negative side of things, but try to tweak your mind. It's not easy, but try to tweak your mind to look into the positive side, even when something bad, for example, if you're body shamed. Now, what I did was that I took it as a challenge. I put a shield in front of me and I said, I will improve myself. Okay, and I will know who are my friends and who are not. Disconnect from your inner bully, the D. So we all know ourselves is our greatest enemy. Our mind is actually our arch rival. Now, when we are going to do something, your mind tells you, no, you can't do it. Stay away. You will fall. You will falter. All these kind of things comes from yourself. Trust me, if you're going to disconnect from yourself, the bully part of it, you will excel. Just disconnect from it, okay, and show yourself. Showing yourself is self confidence. Do not worry what people say about you. What you say about yourself is the most important thing. That is where you will shine. Let's have the next slide. Okay, these are the key takeaways for today. So, these are something that I want you all, if you could take a snapshot of this, this is a very good thing. First thing is that when you go out, you see diversity. Okay, you see different types of people. Now, you have to accept that people are different. It doesn't mean that just because social media has put a airbrush model to say that this is the ideal standard, this is how we should follow. No, everybody is different. You know why your thumbprint is different? It's because you're unique. So, boys and girls, accept that people are different. Your friend may look differently, but she is the same internally with you. It's the same. All right. Before you respond, before you say to someone, um, she's got a lot of pimples, or you call her some sort of name. I'll share a story with you regarding pimples shortly. Have the 2-second respond rate. Do not respond immediately. Think before you respond. Now, some people, the third point, may be having internal issues. There's a lot of people who are very thin because of their internal issues. Probably they're having some sickness. Or some people are too big because of hereditary issues. So all this is, they are facing a battle that you don't know about. So don't be keyboard warriors to go and say things or type and say something negative to intentionally put another person down. Now, influence your peers. For example, now you have got a good friend of yours who actually likes to talk about other people. Tell them not to talk. Now, boys and girls, in approximately 10 years from now, some of you will be 27 years old. Some of you all would be 25 years old, 26 years old. Some of you all are married. Some of you all would be holding a high position in some organization. Now, let's say if you're married and you have a children of your own, and your children runs to you and say that they have been body shamed, how would that make you feel? So think in that way. When you think in that way, when you think of that issue as your own, you will stop saying it about another person and be different. Just because you feel that you don't match up with the social media, it's okay. That is nothing for you to be sad about or have so much of stress and anxiety about. We are all different. Okay, coming back to the story I wanted to share with you just now. Back in school, there was this girl who had a lot of acne. She had acne problem, and teachers used to call her this word called polka dot face. So what happened was, until today I still know her. Until today she cannot recover from that phase of life. Everyone goes through different phase of life. Different phase, you will meet different sets of people. Now you're meeting your school friends and your teachers. Once you graduate, you'll go to university, you'll meet another group of people. And then you go to work, you'll meet another group of people. Body shaming will be present. It's only how you deal with it. If you know how to deal with it, the key point is that when the thought comes to you, when someone says something, or if you want to say something about someone, again, have the 2-second response rate. And then don't react to it. The moment you react, it spreads like cancer. Okay, let's have the next slide. Okay, this is the most important part. Miss Amira and Miss Ashwini has given me the exercise that you did about 3 weeks ago. Wonderful sharing. I really read each and every one of it. And I'm going to read some randomly. All right. So the first one I'm going to read is, this is something very common. There will always be people who criticize others online and in real life. In fact, it's because of this many idols, influences, and regular people commit suicide. Very true. Some people may not be able to take it, while others are sensitive and can't. People need to understand that words hurt and can lead to problematic consequences, especially when it comes to another person's life. Excellent write up. I really love this. The second one. When we were kids, we didn't care about race, religion, or where someone came from. But as we grew up, we start to pick up influences from the people around us. We start to learn what is racism and what we call pretty or ugly. Honestly, people are just born different, but we like to put labels. Exactly like what I shared with you just now about my friend who had acne. We just use description. It's because she has acne, we call them a polka dot face, which is wrong. These are labels that we're putting on people. Okay. Next one. If you want to change how society looks at people, you have to change their opinion of appearance first. However, that's not always easy because some people may have had an old trauma or to make them that way, or were just born in a very judgmental family. That's why these people, this type of things take time to change for the better. I love this write up is because I can relate personally to it because I have gone through this. So we grow up with judgmental people, but as I said, how we react to it is the most important thing. Okay, excellent. I really love this. The next one, dress up. As I mentioned in my last slide, show yourself however you like, you will automatically feel more confident. Find influencers with similar insecurities online, and it will boost your confidence too. It makes you feel like you are not alone in this world with your insecurities. To whoever who wrote this, honestly, there are people out there who are very insecure. It is just that we need each other to lift others up. We rise by lifting others. Good. Next one. Just keep in mind that we all have unique body types. Just because you are larger or smaller than another person is doesn't make you ugly or unwanted. Correct. The inner self will always be more attractive than what's on the outside. This is what I told you exactly just now, that what is internally will actually radiate externally. Always make sure to tell your friends that they can talk to you anytime, and will let them know that you are there anytime they are going through a hard time. Communication is the key. If you're feeling insecure, if you feel that you need to communicate, surround yourself with positive people and share what you're feeling. Don't have ego. Don't feel that if I share, people will make fun of me. Find the right person. Find the person that you can connect with and share your problems. Even as we age, what actually happens is that our circle of friends grows smaller. Even I have few friends where I share. For example, if I'm feeling down, if I'm feeling insecure, I will speak to the person. That is the way of you coming out of your current trauma. Mentally, you have to be positive to life and any problems that you may face. Don't be so negative every time something is wrong. You may want to talk to a therapist and make sure to know that you're not alone and seek comfort to people you trust. Very well written. Last but not least, tell yourself that most things on social media are edited and fake. It's not always what seems online, and being more confident about your body and yourself increases your pure happiness towards life. Wonderful. Wonderful. This is all wonderful. The moment I read this, I was very touched that all of you all actually have the same mindset. So what you have to do, keep up the good work. I hope that you all have taken the screenshot of the slide that I showed just now. Be positive all the time. Okay. Now, my second last slide is basically a class plenary. Okay, let's do a class pledge. Okay, now say this. Okay, every time you feel down or you feel that you can't find someone to talk to, you feel alone, and if you feel that you want to improve yourself, okay, say this: I am fine the way I am. I understand shaming another is not good, and I will improve from now on. Difference is good. So be yourself and stop body shaming. So next slide, please. Thank you very much. I really hope that each and every word that I shared with you today, it would be refreshing for you and you would take it to heart. So now I open the floor back to Ms. Amira.
Hi, Ms. Imelda. I want to share something about myself as well. I used to experience this during high school. I feel like previously I was fast metabolic, so I was very thin, and people make fun of me because I was so thin. So I'm just gonna put it out there that it is not just plump people who get criticized, but also people who are very thin. So even though I ate a lot of junks just to get fatter, it doesn't work for me.
Yep.
Okay, so in order to combat that insecurity, so I wear a lot of clothes, like layers and layers of clothing, so that I won't look that thin. But it's great that you have this kind of talk, because you can learn something out of it and be confident. Because back in the days, we don't have that much this kind of talk. So I hope you can apply the methods that Ms. Imelda showed you on the screen just now, bets, so that you can be confident again. Just remember that all of us experience the same thing. It's just that we experience it differently.
Yes, you're right. Yes.
I want to thank Ms. Imelda for being with us and do this with me. That we had a lot of multiple test runs just to make sure that this runs smoothly. And I want to thank Ms. Pari as well for handling the StreamYard, and Ms. Adina Natasha to because she officiated this event, and also not to forget Dr. Jeffrey for connecting us, Ms. Imelda, and Real International School. I hope Dr. Jeffrey is in the call. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you learned something out of this talk. And please be confident because everybody is experiencing the same thing. It's just that they experience it differently. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I would like to say something, just the
Okay.
last closing. Okay,
Is
let's
it about
combat.
me?
No, no. Let's combat body shaming together. You see, Miss Amira, what you just said, I've also experienced the same thing because I'm also
Really?
very thin. Because I'm so
Yeah.
thin. I was so thin.
It was
It's like,
traumatizing because people keep on
yes,
criticizing us because
yes,
they
yes,
thought
yes.
being thin is not a derogatory term because
No,
everyone
no,
wants to be thin. So if I
no, no.
call you names like stick thin, cardboard, what else?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot.
Popeye,
So
Popeye's
yeah,
wife.
we just left it off, but actually
Correct,
it
correct.
hurts.
It hurts because
Hmm.
I was body shame being thin and having skin condition and stuff like that for a very long time, even until I got married and I had children. So these were like this is like remarks that I had to live with, and until today sometimes I think about it, it's like, oh my god, I was basically humiliated in front of people because I have such a body shape. But for me is that this is me, so right.
True.
Yeah, yeah.
We
So
we were
thank
insecure for nothing.
yeah. No, it is just how we look at ourselves at times because of
True.
these comments. As I said just now, whoever that actually give you the comments, we got to really think whether it's worth it for us to absorb it or not. Most of these
True.
comments comes with ill intention, so it's best for us just to reject it at the first
Or they're
place.
just jealous.
Correct. Yep. 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 That's
They
true.
just want
That's
to be
true.
you, but they couldn't.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all for today.
Yep.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Stay safe. That's all. Bye, guys.
Thank you.